Howdy, Immortallium here, and welcome to Cultured Immortallium. And today I'm going to be covering a title that is quite interesting. I have quite a bit to say about this one. So this manga, this doujin, is called My Brother Married My First Love, So I Stole Her Back. And I was kind of, curious about this. From what I'd seen, it had gotten good reviews. Based on the title, I could guess a couple of the tags, but, I was still interested. I was still willing to give it a shot. And I had an interesting experience, but maybe not the one that, the author intended. But anyway, without any further ado, let's get on to My Brother Married My First Love, So I Stole Her Back. So, what is the premise of this? So our main character is a boy called Takeru. And Takeru, he has been struggling in the job market, and he's decided to come home for vacation. And he's been, kind of dreading going back for many years now because of a very specific reason. And that is because of Sonoka. Sonoka is his childhood friend. He's always had a thing for her, but she ended up marrying his brother instead. So he's always felt a bit iffy about coming back. But he decides to do so, and he actually meets her at the bus stop. She's the one kind of walking back with him. And at first, it's, quite an interesting little read. We kind of have an idea where the story might go, and there's a lot of potential there. Like, she is so charming. Like, she's called him Buddy. When he starts, calling her by a formal name, she's like, we're family, you dork. She just seems like a very kind of sweet, charming person. Then we get on to very rapidly, I will say, and very suddenly, him forcing himself on her. And I want to start off, folks, by saying that I'm no stranger when it comes to extreme content. I've seen, a variety of movies covering this very topic. I had to review a game recently called Dead Days, which had a lot of very unpleasant content in it. So I'm no stranger to it. But in this manga, it actually upset me. And the reason for that is that it comes on so suddenly. There's little to no foreshadowing for the attack. It happens very suddenly. As I said, she seems so sweet, so charming. I felt like she was being betrayed. Literally, as I read on, my heart just groaned. I was like, oh God, it's one of these manga. Like, for the rest of the story, it's kind of just them going at it, and without the husband knowing about it. And it just ended up being a really unpleasant read. Sonoka, who starts out, so charming, very quickly we see that all she's really interested in is, sex. And of course, it's the most cliche of reasons. It's not because she loves the man. It's not because she likes his personality or anything like that. All that matters to her is the fact that he's got a big one. He's got a big monster of a member. And that's all she cares about. And she starts falling for him because of that. And it just is a horrible, horrible read. I honestly do not like this at all. And by the time that we got to the ending, I was just so happy that it was over. I was like, oh my God, I hated this. I really hated this. So having discussed how much I hated this, is there anything that's good as part of this manga? And there is one thing I will give this manga. So with regards to the artwork's in color, and it's okay. It's quite, it's not particularly great or inspired in terms of art style or character designs, but it's all right. But there is kind of one section that really stood out to me, and that was to do with the expressions of some of the characters, mainly Sonoka. There is this one panel that, takes place after the assault. The husband is at the table along with Takeru. They're discussing some stuff. And this panel, the expression that she makes, I think actually has a surprising amount of depth. Like, I'm looking at this face, and I see all sorts of emotions in it. I see fear, I see confusion, I see trepidation, I see lots of things in this image. And so I think the artist does have some serious talent here. It's just that, unfortunately, it's attached to a story that is so unpleasant. As for extras, I read this from Iridori Comics, and there is a small afterword where the author discusses how they had an artist block while they were doing the production and all that kind of stuff. It, obviously it's always nice to get some information from the artists themselves, but here I could really tell that there was some kind of artist block going on. Like, there is some decent artwork, as I said, particularly when it comes to the expressions, but it is just such a horrible horrible read. I do not recommend this manga at all. This is one of the most unpleasant experiences I've ever had reading a manga. Is it the most unpleasant? Probably not. It might be tied. You know, I've read some pretty bad manga in my time. I don't think there's much, if any, artistic merit in here, save for those expressions I was talking about. Just literally just give this title a skip. Now, in the event that you are interested in reading it for some reason, maybe the premise catches you in a way that I can't quite understand, there will be an affiliate link to it in the description through Uridori Comics. You can purchase it there and support the channel. I'll leave that to your own discretion. You know my thoughts on this manga. So with all that out of the way, of course, the big question I have to you is, what did you think of this manga? Like, if you have read it, did you like the manga? Do you agree with me? Did you dislike it? If you like it or dislike it, what is it about it that you like or dislike? How do you think that this manga handles its, first interaction between the two main characters, both in their conversation leading up to it and then the actual assault itself? Do you agree with me about the expressions in this manga, particularly that one expression? Do you think there is substance there, subtlety, or do you think that I'm kind of just blowing it out of proportions, that I'm desperately looking for anything that can be good within this manga? And of course, if you have any other things you want to discuss, please leave them in the comments below. It would be greatly appreciated. Also consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and checking out some of my other content. Thank you very much, and I will be talking to you folks next time.